Where are your borders? And why does this even matter? This is the topic of the video today. What I'm doing here is talking about interesting ideas or questions, and by using the capabilities of my mind, I'm trying to get a deeper understanding of the topic and maybe even reality itself. Let's see. Borders. Borders make nations. Borders are all around you. Even right here where I am, the room has its borders. These are the walls, the floor, the ceiling. Reality itself has borders. You are not able to leave the planet, except if you die, of course. Yeah, we are working on that though. We're pushing the border with the rockets we're developing. Then we can transcend this border. For a long time we could not travel the seas, so the sea were an impassable border for us, but now we have these great ships. They can travel through the sea. And even the border of the air around us, of course, and above us, is transcended as a species. You yourself probably cannot fly, but we can. We develop technology. So you see, there is a kind of play between borders and limitations and transcending these limitations. And by the way, this is the one of the core essence of the masculine principle. So if you want to live a masculine life or increase your masculinity, one of the most effective ways to do this is transcend borders. Yeah. You have to pick it wisely, because if the border is too far away, then you will do more harm than good, obviously. Or you will just waste all your energy, because you could try to learn flying with your body, but probably you would waste all of your energy with it because it's ridiculous. It's too far away. You will not be able to achieve it. Maybe you are the great wizard and you can, with the deepest kind of meditation in this cave in Tibet, and then you will hover at one point and fly after 10 years of intense focus. I doubt that this is your path, but you never know. Yeah, but you see already. So more wisely would be a very simple example. You go to the gym, you lift some weights, do the bench pressing, for example, some squatting here, and you increase your weights. This is a kind of very simple example of overcoming borders, of overcoming limitations, or pushing your limitations farther away. And it is liberating, of course, because pushing borders away is one definition of freedom, of liberation. So you feel liberated if you do it right. If you train correctly in the gym, it will liberate you. This is why it's so effective. If you want to live a masculine lifestyle, go to the gym. So this is basically a recommendation for nearly everybody that wants to live a more masculine lifestyle. Yes. Borders and nations. This is a kind of hot topic even right now. Some do not even believe in that. It's ridiculous, of course, because a nation is defined by its borders. That's why it's a nation. If it doesn't have a border, then it's not a nation. It's something else then. Then, I don't know. Maybe it's a spiritual connection of people or an ethnic connection of people. There are a few examples of people, so ethnic groups in the world, that they have no nation state. There is still a connection there, so there is a unity that transcends these borders because they're maybe part of the same culture, same traditions or ethnicity. So, but they don't have these political borders, these imaginary lines that we're drawing on the world map. And for some of them, this is a great problem. So it would be, interestingly, for them, it would be liberation to create this border. So it can work the other way around too if you don't have it. Because there's an important aspect to it. And this is that the borders of you, of your life, of your world, your reality is the definition of yourself. And if you do not have any borders, then you do not have any self. So the more you dissolve borders, which you can do, of course, the less identity you will have. And this is, in my observation, what was happening in the last decades all around the world through globalization. Borders got dissolved more and more and more, and identity with it got dissolved more and more and more. And now people all around the world are confused because they don't know who they are anymore. Very big problem. And now, through this confusion, all these political, social tensions are rising up, boiling up. People are getting angry, desperate, hopeless, because without borders, there's no direction. You don't see where you're going anymore. You don't see where you come from. You're just confused. And then you get a lot of trouble out of it. So there's nothing wrong with borders. There's nothing wrong with dissolving borders too, or pushing them farther away, but it always has to be in the right context so that you will have the optimal outcome. Because you can put it yourself too. For my belief, you can agree or disagree, I don't care. I am a huge fan of Europe and the European Union. What are they doing there? The borders got pushed farther away. You're going from the maximum unity of nation state in Europe now to an even bigger unity that is all of Europe and our collective European culture. So I'm a huge fan of this. I wanted to see it flourish and grow, and I feel like a European too, and I want to be part of this great European empire, if you want to call it like this, or union, or whatever. Roman Empire would hit cool too, I guess. It's maybe for another topic, another video. Yes, so you see, they push the borders farther away here, get a new kind of unity, but you see lots and lots of problems came with it, because obviously, if you do this, people will lose a part of their identity and getting confused. So, and since these were all very old cultures with lots of history and lots of traditions, in Europe you have, I don't know how many, probably 100, and probably depends how detailed you're getting, but what is it, something at 42 countries, and then in these countries you have subcultures very often. For example, many European countries, they only have like 10 million inhabitants, but in Germany, for example, you have over 80 million. But in Germany itself, you have subcultures that are sometimes very distinct from each other. They speak the same language, but even there, the dialects can be quite different. And if you go into deeper parts, they probably cannot even communicate with each other anymore, which is also interesting. So you see there's a lot of subcultures in Europe. And yeah, this is a huge project to unite them into one identity. And of course, that's why we're having a lot of trouble with it. But still, I think it's worth it. Worth to try, but we should do it in a way where we don't lose our individual and also collective identity, of course. But again, here, you need to draw borders. So, then you have the border around the continent, and then you really have to decide what do you want to let in, what do you want to push out. It is always the question, because otherwise you don't have a unity. You need to know who you want to be and who you not want to be. It's the only way, because otherwise there is no identity, there is no union, there is no state, there is not even a self in the end anymore. If you're going back to the individual level, you can dissolve everything you know about yourself. And we saw this in the last couple of years, where even in society they started to dissolve the concept of gender itself. So you're not even a man or a woman anymore. But you see, this created a lot of trouble and suffering too, because obviously if you dissolve such a fundamental biological concept, then you will create an unreal amount of confusion. Yeah, because then who are you anymore even? And you could even go a level deeper down, and this is already happening. You dissolve your humanity as itself, and then you get to these people that then identify as animals and stuff like this. It's nothing, if you describe it very simple, it's exactly this. You just dissolve the concept of that you are a human. You can do it on the way down, now you identify as an animal, but it is the other way around. It's also possible. You identify as an angel or a god or something like this. And this happens all the time. Many people do this more than you think of. Maybe you yourself do it, or just a part of you. That some people walk around and believing they are an angel. Yes. And this is troublesome. Because in the end you are a human. Maybe you have an angelic part in you. I made a video about this if you want to check it out. What does it mean to be human? I definitely believe that a part of you is very angelic and angel-like. Or godlike, or divine, if you want to describe this, for sure. I 100% believe this. But if you identify this too much with this part of you that is divine, that is angelic, or whatever you want to call it, then this is a lot of trouble for you. A lot of trouble, because in the end you have to eat and you have to breathe and you have to take care of this human body, because you will most likely die, because you're maybe not ready to ascend to these kind of levels. I think once in a while that happens, and if you study mysticism and history of great sages and masters, then it seems like some every few hundred years, or maybe more often, who knows exactly, they reach these levels. But will you? Maybe you are the one who can achieve it, but it is, from my understanding of the world, one of the most difficult tasks ever. And there's another point to it. Maybe this is not even the intention. Maybe you don't want to do it because there is more to the experience of humanness than just being an angel. Because if you wanted to be an angel, then why would you not have incarnated as an angel? If you believe in the concept of the infinite soul, this is a valid question. So then why are you pretending to be an angel? If you obviously manifested as a human, because otherwise you would not watch this video, except, I don't know, if you're truly streaming that from heaven, then I feel very blessed. Okay. Yes, so then the real question is, what kind of borders should we draw? Now, on an individual level, for me, myself, I think it's useful to see myself as a human, first of all. I think that's very useful. And also as a man, and also as a boy. I still feel like a boy. I don't feel like a complete adult yet. I have my topics to solve. But I'm striving to become more a man than a boy, but don't lose the boy too, because the boy has its place too. You want to keep it, you want to keep the boy inside, because the boy makes life more enjoyable, of course. But it needs to have its place too. In business, you don't want to play the boy. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. You will fail. It's not good. And many do. They start business way too soon. They are just boys or girls and go into the real world of men and women in business, and then they fail, of course, and then they cry in the end. Yeah, that's not working. If you go into the real world of men and women, then you better be a man or a woman and act like this, and the boy has to step down. He can act out, and the girl, it's his pleasures at home, but not in the world of business. There's no place for it. Neither in politics, by the way. You keep your boy and your girl at home if you do politics. This is the world of men and women, because it's a serious topics. It's in the end, it's about the lives of the public and many people. And you keep your boy and your girl at home when you go into politics. Please don't do it. So if you are still not in full unity with your adult self, don't even think about going into politics or into great international organizations or anything where you have real responsibility over many other people. And for myself, I would not do it right now, because I don't feel that I integrated the man in myself fully enough that I would be ready to take such responsibility. an example. Yes, and for the bigger context, yes, it's also important. Where do we want to draw the borders? No, this is a discussion that we need to have together. No, I cannot solve this with talking into this camera. It's impossible because I have only one viewpoint, and to know how we want to draw collective borders, for example, for nations or cities or like concepts, over national concepts like the European Union, for example, we need to have this discussion together. What is our identity? What is useful to believe in? For example, for Europe, we could have concepts like the old Greek and Roman traditions, all that Christianity brought to the European world. Then, of course, everything that happened after Enlightenment, the Industrial Revolution, this great technological progress we're having, the scientific endeavors we have. And then, of course, all the social progress we made, especially in the last century. This is part maybe also of the European identity, and we want to have it as part of it. And then you realize, if this is part of this project, of this unity, then the opposite cannot be part of it. Anything that is against, it's an example. If you want to say Europe, and the part of the European identity is that we value man and woman as equals, then anybody who does not believe in this concept, and any ideology that does not believe in this concept, cannot be part of Europe and needs to leave, needs to get pushed out. It's very simple. It's very simple. Because otherwise, you don't have an identity. Then you have just confusion again. And or, of course, you can change the view. You can say, okay, no, we don't believe that, and men are superior. Or the other way around. Women are superior and have more rights, but then we have to agree on this together and then structure the system around it. I don't believe that any of these other outcomes will lead to better progress in the future than saying, hey, we treat each other with equal rights, and from there on, we see. But this is a discussion we will have to have together. Maybe I'm wrong with that. Of course it can be. I'm just a guy talking to a camera. Alright. I guess it's good for now. I hope this was interesting for you. It was useful. You can take something for your own identity, maybe sharpen it, sharpen your borders with it, maybe push a little if you want to go the masculine way, or dissolve if you want to go the feminine way. It's also possible. One of it, part of it. And yeah, if you find this interesting, then you can check out other topics that I'm discussing, and I will be doing probably more of this because I'm enjoying it. So maybe see you another time.